It's like any big money fights with Canelo.
Anything you want to add, Gio?
No. I don't care about Jacobs that much.
Okay. What happens if he does fight Canelo Alvarez?
What happens?
What do you see happening with that?
I think he loses easily.
Oh, shh.
I think Triple G had too much respect for him. I thought that was a simple fight for Triple G, but I think the respect he had for him didn't allow him to let his hands go, because he knocked him down with one punch, and after that he wasn't really that aggressive. I think Canelo is more naturally aggressive. Well, that's what surprised me though, because Triple G is an aggressive fighter.
To me,
in that fight he didn't really show that.
To me, what I've noticed is I know Triple G's getting older, and I feel like he's starting to respect people's like skills and their power, because he respected
and Canelo
Jacob.
doesn't give a fuck. Like, there's so
Canelo.
much media talk like that. I feel like in his last fights there's been so much media talk that he just goes in there trying to take the dude's head off. You know, we saw that against Triple G in the second fight.
But
So,
I honestly believe that Canelo Alvarez he didn't win all out against Miguel Cotto. I think he showed a lot of respect to Miguel Cotto.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I think he showed a lot of respect, because there's times where he could have, you just felt like he could have unleashed a little bit more power shots, and he
didn't.
But I think if Jacobs was 10 pounds under his weight on fight night, I don't think he's a really top level guy, because we saw what he did against Triple G.
Right, I know. I think he he lost his belt. Yeah, I think he weighed in at 180.
Yeah, he didn't respect that weight class. I mean, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting what happens, and more than likely we're gonna hear more news with Triple G. I think once Triple G signs with somebody, the dominoes effect is gonna come down for the zone. They could do all their fantasy matches with one another. So we went over October, all the news that happened outside, and today is the first day of November. So I'm just gonna go over some of these, and then we can just elaborate on all of them. There are 2 dates that I'm pretty sure you guys gonna be like, why did you even bother putting them? Just hang in there. I'll tell you why. So the first one, and we're gonna talk about this next week. This one's gonna be next Friday. Next Friday, November 9th, the Contender, the finale.
Yes.
In the middleweights. So that's on Epic. So if you guys don't have Epics, you can start your 14-day free trial.
I thought you were going to start with November 3rd.
November 3rd?
Right.
On ESPN?
No, that's Saturday, right? November 3rd is what, Saturday?
Calling our fights.
Well, we're going to put
Allstar
that. Yeah,
boxing.
we're going to save that towards the end.
Save the best for last.
Yeah, we'll save the best for last. So November 9th, next Friday, right? The Contender finale. So if you guys haven't seen it, it's such a dope show. And it goes back to like how boxing has become popular. Because that show used to come out this is the 5th season. And you have Freddie, Roach, Nassim Richardson, which, by the way, when we first did our first podcast, you were talking about, who should Danny Garcia switch trainer? Him, because he's from Philadelphia.
Yeah, that seems a good trainer.
Match made in heaven. But let's see if Angel Garcia steps aside. And I say step aside, even the cocaine too. So November 10th.
Fucking Allstar?
Yeah, he's part of the team too, believe it or not. Oh man, he doesn't even shy away from saying it either to him. After November 9th, November 10th.
You know, my bad. Sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
He's like LeVar Ball right now. Like, you don't even hear about him, huh?
Angel Garcia.
Yeah, you don't even hear
I mean,
about
we
him,
could, you know what we could do? We could talk about it like 10 minutes. Some of his most ridiculous interviews, some of his most crazy. Like one of his craziest comments was when he said Danny Garcia is the new cash cow.
Oh
yeah.
LOL.
Should I put my Puerto Rican flag now on that?
Guy has sold 0 pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Put that down, Don.
Big time. So November 10th. I'm so pumped up for this fight. Usyk versus Bellew.
That's going to be a good fight.
And on the zone, that fight is going to be such a fire fight. And I'm not talking about Teddy Atlas fire, dude. I'm talking about real fire. Like these two fighters, to me, this fight right here is going to... You know what I said when we were talking about in the first podcast about who are pound for pound fighters, right? Yeah, this fight right here, popping in for one of my top pound for pound fighters for 5 or 4. So that should be exciting.
When was that again?
November 10th. So
November
not this
10th?
Saturday, but the following Saturday.
What network?
The Zone.
The Zone.
So we'll be
November
looking at
10th, The
this
Zone.
in our phones and our.
What's the venue?
I believe
know?
it's in Manchester.
All right, so it's gonna start early, huh?
Yeah, it probably starts like at 2:00 because that's the same time it started with Joshua and Povetkin. So, so you don't have to wake up early like the Premier League teams. All right, so we're good. And then November 16th, you got Maurice Hooker versus Alex Susuedo. So I know this is like, who are these guys? But this is the 140. All right. But Alex Susuedo, I want you guys to pay attention with what's going on with this. So this fight is going to be on ESPN. Both fighters are with Top Rank. All right. I already told you guys the analysis regarding Terrence Crawford, how he literally has nobody.
Yeah.
This guy, Alex, he's 28-0. If Terrence Crawford cannot find anybody to fight,
It's gonna be that guy.
he might be him. And he's at 140, so he's gonna have probably get to.
The 140 is kind of dead right now.
It
huh?
is.
Yeah.
The 140 division is really dead. So for Alex, he might have to move up and take a L fighting against Terrence Crawford. Sad boy, but that sucks if that's the case, and that's gonna end up happening.
Mikey's skipping that weight class, right? If he fights Errol.
If he fights Arrow, he's gonna have to move up to.
Yeah, because he didn't fight at 140. Because there's no.
He did fight Sergio Lipnitz for the 140
Oh, that was
bout.
140.
That was 140.
That was his only fight, right?
Yeah.
For 140, yeah, and then he vacated.
He better, get that title.
Yep, either money or title for Mike Garcia. That's his formula. No mandatories. So the next day, November 17, the Zone undercard. This is just a bunch of fighters fighting different fighters. Jarrell, Baby Miller, Bam Bam Brandon Rios, Clarissa Shields, Gabe Rosado, and Ricky Burns. And all of them are going to be fighting in Kansas.
Interesting.
Yep.
Kansas.
Who's the headliner?
Jarrell Miller, the heavyweight, the American heavyweight.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, he's American. He's trying to call out, trying to buy out, trying to talk his way to try to fight Anthony Joshua. So we'll see what happens with that.
That's interesting, Kansas.
Well, because there's actually a young fighter on the undercard, not naming these fighters that I mentioned, that's from Kansas. And then they have Brandon Rios.
Yeah, Brandon Rios too.
So they could try to make money from that. And they try to like go, because I believe the first Bellew fight for the Zone was in Chicago. I was in Chicago, and then the next one was in Boston. So they're trying to go into like in Kansas.
So that's Kansas City, right?
I believe so.
You
So
know Kansas City's not in Kansas? You know that?
I don't know. The more
Kansas
you
City,
know.
Missouri.
There you go. So that's November 17. Then on November 20, it's time to go to the movies and watch Creed 2.
Oh.
Creed 2. So that should be really interesting. I heard
That
Andre
is,
Ward.
when is that?
November 20. Yeah, I heard Andre Ward
Oh,
fights.
so it's not coming on Thanksgiving?
It's during the week of Thanksgiving.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what day.
So Chris, you gotta get us the tickets for us, bro. You gotta get us the tickets for us.
Tickets.
No,
Reserve
we're
'em.
getting ready for that one for sure.
It's going to be a night out for sure. I'm going to have to watch it probably twice or 3 times during
yeah.
that week for sure. It'll be interesting what happens. But I heard Andre Ward is in the movie and he gets
out.
his ass whooped.
Well, he was in the first one. He was regarded as the pound for pound.
Remember that
Number
scene
1 or
where
2?
he's like, I'm next. Remember when he was talking about Adonis? Yeah.
Wow. So Andre's probably gonna be Drago's like example.
No, I think he's gonna fight Adonis.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah, I think he fights Adonis. We'll see what happens. Well, it's sweet. The Son of God is out there making movies. And then November 20, you got Dimitri Bivol versus Jean Pascal on HBO. This is what you were talking about, right? So Bivol.
I used to promote Pascal.
Pascal. Man, when I think about Pascal, man, it's how embarrassing when Bernard Hopkins beat him up in his own place. And then here it is.
I couldn't buy the judges that day.
November 30, Jeff Horn versus Anthony Modine. This is on ESPN Plus. Why do I bring up him? Because if Bob Arum does not have any other fighter, he already know what's going to happen. The rematch between Terrence Crawford and Jeff Horn. But this time, it's not going to be Las Vegas. I'm pretty sure this time it's going to be in Australia because they can make a lot of money over there.
Yeah.
Because you know how it sold out, right, between Pacquiao and Jeff Horn? So I said those two fighters. Alex,
so you're saying that they will fight. You feel like they will fight again if they can find.
If they cannot find an opponent for Terrence Crawford, it's going to be Jeff Horn, or the winner between Jeff Horn, Anthony Modine, or it's going to be the winner between Maurice Hooker or Alex Suela, which more than likely might be Alex. So between those two fights, it makes sense for Top Rank and Bob Arum to switch him up and fight Terrence Crawford if they
Mhm.
can't fight a fighter,
because
which they're not.
Yeah, they're gonna have. Yeah, Horn's gonna have to have a big win, so Bob can even have a prayer of selling that fight.
Against the ropes, number one.
Freddie Roach.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Freddie.